Hi, my name is Quinn Underwood. I'm the CEO, co-founder of Ferris, and making this video for two reasons. First is one of the conversations I have a lot with SIs, MSPs, professional service providers is what is the timeline for this transition from where we are today to this AI future? And when are we going to see that showing up in a way that our business needs to adapt? And the short answer is we're already seeing it. I think there's this really interesting evidence in kind of how startups are hiring that we see in Silicon Valley of that transition and what that's going to look like. And then second, the question that we think about a lot at Ferris is how do professional services go from where they are today to really becoming AI native and ultimately capturing the value and supporting with the distribution of this insane new technology in a way that makes it actually useful for businesses, organizations, et cetera. So first is we're already seeing kind of the major players put money where their mouth is. So Microsoft, Google, AWS, Salesforce, ServiceNow, et cetera, are introducing huge cash incentive programs for their partner networks to help transition existing customers to more AI-ready infrastructure to help them build and deploy agents on their systems. And we think that you're only going to see more of that, particularly as those signals become the metrics that investors look for in earnings calls when these companies report how they're doing. The second is startups have changed how they hire and who they hire for. And we see this, I think, earlier than most being in Silicon Valley, how this transition is going to play out. So from January to September of 2025, the open positions for a forward deployed engineer exploded by 800%, became the fastest growing job in tech. And, reporting by Financial Times, by Andreessen Horowitz, leading VCs, shows that demand for those roles has outpaced even demand for engineers. So then the question is, what is this role and why are we seeing it in companies that are the most AI native? The role comes from Palantir. It was coined by them. And it really is a description of their services forward model of deploying technology. And basically what that means is someone who is reasonably technical is going and working with a customer, doing requirements gathering and scoping, and then building features and functionality that specifically meet their needs, but aren't necessarily generalizable as software to all customers. This sounds familiar. That is very similar to the work that SIs, MSPs, professional services have been doing for a really long time. It's just rebranded in this new way because it is new to those in Silicon Valley who haven't really been operating in the enterprise space for a long time. So it's a really strong, I think, indication of where things are headed. And then the question is, well, why is this new model of work so necessary? And we saw this firsthand at Qualtrics when we built many of their first AI features and agentic systems. Ultimately, it is because the value proposition of AI is not just to be another tool that someone else can use. It is to be both the tool and the system operating the tool. And what that requires is access to all of the places where action is taken today in an organization, not just being kind of a silo tool that someone can use and then take action with the output. And we see this where integrations are now much more in demand. You have a requirement to understand how work is done, build standard operating procedures, and those become the policies that AI or an agent then uses to do that same work in a way that is repeatable. And that just requires a level of working closely with customers that traditional software in its fits all kind of building style didn't require. And that is a really strong indication of where things are headed and why there's going to be so much more demand for this style of professional services work moving forward. And we're in the very early innings of that. The second question that we hear and have been having many conversations around is, okay, what does it take to really start capturing that value and capturing that demand that we're already starting to see en masse? And I think it's pretty straightforward. The first is start using the AI tools and become AI native as an organization yourself. And the second is begin offering customers the ability to build agents, deploy agents, and customize software using agents to do work for them. This is what Ferris exists to do, help organizations, professional services become AI native and begin offering those services to their customers. So we do that by building agents that help your business analysts, solutions architects, program managers do so much more in the same amount of time. So we're not looking at replacing them. We're looking at augmenting them, freeing them from the grunt work that they do today so that they can focus on the parts of work that they really love and enjoy, and you can scale untethered from headcount. So hope this is useful. And if nothing else, I think the time is now. Cheers.